I'm going to be a lot more reserved tonight.
Don't be.
I'm going to be up to you. I'm going to be.
That man, we don't need him for the house.
Good evening, Boro fans. Welcome to the Monday Night Club with me, James Hutchinson. Joining me tonight are A.J.T and Foxy. Welcome to the show, lads.
Hiya.
Welcome all you viewers out there.
And I'm lovely Norwich fans that have joined.
Well, the unbeaten season, start of the season, finally came to an end at Carrow Road on Saturday. We'd love you to join our discussion tonight. Give us your thoughts. I'm sure there's plenty of strong opinions out there. We're going to have them on this table. As Boro look to bounce back from their defeat at Norwich, they've got 2 home fixtures coming up now this week. We've got Bolton and Swansea. So what changes do you think need to be made? Get in touch with us, let us know. We'll have a chat about it. And how confident are you that the Boro are going to get back to winning ways? Do you think there's any cause for concerns that you think might prolong into the season, or anything that you've seen so far this season that worries you ahead of the next few games? So, lads, 7 months on from our last visit to Norfolk.
Yes.
And no fucking change
in
terms of the region, in terms of the outcome. It was just the same.
Yeah.
Another 1-0 defeat. We did keep 11 men on the pitch this time.
We did, yeah.
And we all predicted around the table last Monday night we were going to get 3 points. And it was 1 goal that did us.
Yeah.
But before the game, I think we were all justified in thinking we were going to go and get 3 points there, weren't we, mate?
Listen, when you go to a team, home or away, and they've only won 1 game out of the last 6, and you're unbeaten, it's only right that you're going to have confidence going into it. And it's, I know we spoke before we came on the camera once briefly, but what's bugging me the most, mate, is what I've said to you off camera, where we didn't see quarter of the Boro we've seen in the month of August. Now, anyone can put that down to the international break and say, yeah, but it came too soon. But I'm sorry, when a team's unbeaten and you're flying, you've got the confidence you're playing with, you shouldn't be thinking, well, I'm sorry, but one day it's only Pulis and I don't know what I'm doing on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? Because so all the important things work out to me. It's just, is it the fact that, when we were talking about it, is it that the confidence is maybe he's got through their heads and they're thinking, oh, look at us, we're invincible. We're invincible, how... Look at the defence as well. It didn't mean that 3 of our defenders, they had to push forward. Ayala on the right wing by himself.
We've played together all season.
Yeah, because nobody was making the run.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like we were lazy with it, and I was thinking, if we get a goal here and sit back, we know our defence is strong enough to do it, but we didn't do it.
And yet, at the start of the game, Foxy, for the first 15-20 minutes, they started off on the front foot, and it was reasonably positive. Shot and fizzed the ball into the area, which just missed a Somber longer. Howson had the shot that was saved. And it looked positive for the rest of the game. Why do you think things just then switched off after 20 minutes? Why do you think that might have happened?
Do you know what? For the first time in a long time, I'm kind of without words because I can't figure this Boro team out. And it looks to me as if have we got options now where he's thinking maybe does he not know what he wants to start with now, even though. Right, I'll start this again. We started the season with him coming out saying we're not good enough after Millwall. We all thought the same thing. We then went on a blazing run because by hook or by crook we just couldn't get transfers in. I think if we'd have got players in straight away after that Millwall game, they'd have gone straight into the team and we would have seen a different team straight away. But what's happened is he's been pushed into a corner where that team's had to play.
And it's hard to make changes when that team's been successful. We haven't conceded a goal since Millwall.
So kind of he's then stuck with a team that's then kind of to play well. Sheffield United, Bristol City, Birmingham at home, and we've kind of thought, hang on a minute. They're all right here. We're doing all right. Then all of a sudden we get players in, but because as you've just said we're playing that well, you can't bring them in. But with those then players playing well to kind of react to what he'd said, to go, hang on a minute, no, I do want to be in this team. That's then carried on, and then all of a sudden we've had a break, and maybe they've bought into I hope they haven't, but they've kind of bought into their own hype a little bit. And then the complacency set in. Then we go to Norwich and we start brilliantly for 15 minutes. Nothing happens. And then it's almost as if people have gone... The Norwich have gone, by the man, actually, we've got nothing to worry about here.
It's a funny thing you should say that. I mean, before the game, and I'm sure you
and then they grind, they get a foothold slightly.
Yeah. Talking to Norwich fans before the game, and they were very much like, they were dead downbeat, and they were like, almost without exception, they were saying, there's no way we're going to get anything off you today. We're going to get hammered. And I was like thinking... Part of me's thinking, I don't like the sound of this, because when you start hearing stuff like that, you're thinking there's only one way this is going to end up going.
Well, after we spoke to the lads at Norwich City Central, and they were all saying, Boro are going to come in, they're going to torture us, they're going to do this, that and the other. and it was. I don't know what to say, man. It's like I can accept defeat, and
Foxy can't work a laptop.
And I can accept defeat, man. I don't have a problem with defeat, but it's the way that we played. It's the way that we took the defeat.
Yeah.
I can't say anyone in that team give it 100% side that.
But the thing is, they started off as if they were going to give 200%. I
the first 15 minutes we did.
But then it's almost as if one thing the game just then changed on one attack for them, and then all of a sudden they got a little bit behind them and they thought, oh, hang on a minute, there's nothing to fear with this team. And then they've thought, well, this is an unbeaten team, let's raise our game, and then it's kicked in a bit. It's funny how one thing turns in a football game, and then all of a sudden the other team gets the momentum, the power. And we've just gone, oh, hang on a minute. But there was.
I don't know what went wrong after the first 15 minutes was dominating. Because I thought we were dominating that game. But yeah, the ball fits across the box where Sambonga nearly got to it, really unlucky. Austin has the shot. And then it was like, then number 6 was causing Sambonga problems by he just kept diving on the floor.
And we just seemed to struggle to get out of first key, didn't we? It was almost as though we'd hit a brick wall, and then that was it. And certainly in a creative sense, we didn't seem to start getting involved in the game. Or going forward, we lost possession a lot. And how much would you put that down maybe to the formation or the lineup? Or do you think it was down to Norwich and how they do? Because in fairness, now that's 3 times we've played Norwich in under a year. They've beaten us 1-0 every time.
I think it's a bit of both.
I think they were trying to frustrate us at times, mate, as well. You know what I mean? It shows straight where I think it was Zimmerman there, number 6.
Yeah.
You can see he was trying to frustrate Sambonga, and I think, listen, the lineup for me, Uchi, it doesn't work, right, when you only have a Sambonga up front. Look at last season at times, we all came out and said, the guy can't play by himself. You look at the likes of Millwall, you look at the other games that we've Bristol City, when he's got Braithwaite alongside him, the guy is unbelievable because of the link up. When you don't have him in the team, Braithwaite, for whatever, and I get that fans are angry and whatnot, but listen, get over it. He said what he said to the Pulis, and I completely understand that people are angry, but he ain't a Gaston Ramirez. He ain't one of them people.
If to be all fairness to him, as we were talking in the car, if Braithwaite's family's not happy and he's not happy when he goes home and he's got all that going on, it doesn't matter how much money he's on, guys. For me, if he's not happy, then. But what he's done is he's come out and he's played out of his skin, and I think that there's a level where there's a professionalism kicks in, and that's what I've seen with Braithwaite, where he's gone, I'm not happy, I don't want to be here, but I'll give my all for the club. And if that's the way it goes, but you play him. You don't not play him because he might want to. There's 2 months to go, 3 months before he might leave.
There is a winning partnership in Braithwaite and Sambonga, and when you don't play one of them, mate, we see what happens on Saturday.
I felt sorry for Sambonga on Saturday because I felt like he was feeding off scraps. He was totally isolated.
And he's the guy that everybody looks at and goes, well, he hasn't done nothing, but really he hasn't been fed. In the same way in which a keeper will make 20 saves and let one in, and everybody remembers that. It's kind of, you've got to give him some leeway.
Yeah, because it was almost as though the midfield just got further on top of more or less our defence on
Saturday. And then there was sat with 2 lines there with no one really given any sort of pressing, any intensity there. So therefore, they were getting the ball out wide more, and they were exploiting that a little bit more. And you can park the bus when you're 1-0 up in the last 10 minutes. But you don't do that after 50 minutes or after 40 minutes. Or I mean, when did I think they scored, what, the 54th minute, 58, 56, something? You know, then there was the debacle with the sending off. Which was a total farce. It was the right decision.
They put it down to offside, didn't they?
Yeah, it was the right, and it wasn't dangerous play, which is why they let him stay back on. But I think.
What's that though?
But I think that affected us a little bit also.
I'm not being funny. This dangerous play, if you show someone a red card, I'm sorry, it wasn't dangerous play, stay on the pitch. I'm not having that, mate.
Well, it was 2 yellows, wasn't it? Which is what it was. But I think if it had been a dangerous play, he'd have stayed, even though it was offside.
I'd have sent him off anyway.
But I think that then had a little bit of effect with us as well. What's going on here?
I think you're right there. I mean, you don't really want to criticise officials. It's certainly not. That's not the reason why we lost on Saturday.
No, not at all.
He didn't have
every single handball. Innocent or not, free kick. Every single time they did something wrong. They got nothing.
There was a lot of decisions for both teams I thought they got wrong.
He played to the crowd, in my opinion.
Can I just bring some comments in? Is that all right?
Of course you can,
we've got Grey Hats, who's a Norwich City football fan. I think this is addressed to A.J.T. We like your vids. Thought you got an evening, by the way. Like your vids. I know you don't like us, but when A.J.T. Saturday after your video, I know you don't like us, but we're not all that bad. It's sad that we still sing about Wembley. We mock Ipswich. We mock Ipswich for. I'm not sure what else there was on that Grey, but I know that's to A.J.T. So I'll let you just. I don't think he hates us. He hates you, but.
I think you were just frustrated, weren't you, mate?
You had a great team when you beat Bayern Munich with Jeremy Goss, by the way, back in the day. That was a fan.
Lenny Lawrence era and all.
No, it's right.
No one remembers, but listen.
I don't know why he slags Lenny off. He did it without the budget.
Listen.
Great player.
I don't hate Norwich, right? And when I'm being serious, I'm not being silly when I say it. You just irritate me. And I'm being serious, like, you just get on me nerves.
Is this to do with Wembley?
Like, I'm looking at this in front of me, and
from Wembley.
I'm really struggling to even look at that picture. But listen, Norwich fan, I don't hate your club. Listen, I don't hate your club like I do others. You're just a team, and it's how I described it. And take it as you will about kicking youngsters in the head. I mean,
there's a good comment here from Norwich City Central. Hi guys, let the player 27 passes more than the whole of your three-man midfield. You're going to touch on something now. It annoys me. Surprised with how poor Boro work was on the ball. Good luck this season.
Everyone knows how poor we were. Do you know what I mean? But
it's a fair comment.
Going on the comments answering this. Your team just irritate me.
I just think on Saturday, I don't think that's a fair indication. I don't think Norwich. I think Norwich will probably play worse than that this season.
Do you not feel as if it was a little bit touchy where they knew that? I won't call us a big team, but we've come with a bit of a reputation, Norwich City Central and Grey Hats. We've come with a bit of a reputation in the game on Saturday. We're not conceding, not getting beat, but having a good result at Leeds. And I think you needed to raise your game. You had injuries, and I kind of think that they've used that as motivation, as we were talking about, to go, don't let them come here and steamroll you. We had 15 minutes, and as we said, and then they've thought, they're nothing special. And you've got your result what you needed.
Yeah.
It was poor from us because we should have game management. We should have known that was going to be the case.
You know what it's like, right? If you play a team in any league and they're at the top, look at us women in the Premier League. Actually, we played City. In my opinion, we should have won that. We cheated out of the game, etc. Look at us when we played Leeds. We were going up against, and let's be respectful, the top team in that league, the best player,
the best attacking lineup we would have thought.
And look how well we played. And then you know, it kind of reminds me back in the Premier League when Boro play a top team. And they'd be unbelievable. And then you go play the likes Blackburn Rovers. I mean, years ago, back to Blackburn Rovers.
Lenny Lawrence here with us.
Who was he called? Who was he? The Chef the Cookie lad. Scored 2 passes and you sat there and you think, well, a week ago, Man United game, he didn't 4-1.
But we've seen that with We've seen that with Fulham back in the day with Collins John. Scored that trick. Called a worldie. He hadn't scored a goal.
Typical Butter.
I think the thing for us in a way was Leeds went there a few weeks ago
and hammered him.
And absolutely took him. And I think they've learned a lot from that performance.
Do you not think as well with Uchi that as well that it's about... They've gone there and steamrolled them, and they walked into town with a big reputation. It's bigger than us, and yet they've managed to deal with that pressure. Do you not think that then when we're going there and we can't, that's got to come from somewhere within the management, the coaches?
I think there's a few things. I think Norwich probably tailored their game and their approach on Saturday with us in mind, and having happened what occurred against Leeds, I don't think they were as open, and I think they've just thought, hang on a minute. We'll let Middlesbrough have the ball in certain places, but we can do some damage to them. And I think they weren't as gung ho, because when I watched the highlights of the game when they played Leeds, they created a lot more chances than they did against us, yet they came away with a 3-0 defeat. On Saturday, they were very measured when they had the ball, and they didn't overcommit, and they didn't leave any spaces.
No, they were disciplined.
They were.
One thing that
was a good championship performance.
I thought it was.
One thing that I noticed about us and our shape was, I don't know if you noticed as well, in the first half, beyond Clayton and Sombalonga, there was a massive gap in the midfield. And they were just passing balls through, exploiting the space, and we couldn't get hold of them.
Do you think that's down to the way we've been taught to set up beforehand?
I think it was a formation. I mean, everyone was so defensive, and I was sat there and I'm thinking, the gap's not helping us because there's overrunners in the midfield. They're allowed to press up. Sombalonga's then on the halfway line. And then when we get out, at times, everyone was screaming away because you get out to the edge of the box. And then they're coming back at you, and it was like, I've not seen that Boro performance in a long time, if I'm honest.
Do you not think, though, that maybe, like for Leeds, for example, which was a good performance, that there was no way they weren't going to attack us at home, especially after the way they've been playing, and that played into our hands a little bit because we didn't necessarily need to be on the front foot. We could break more. Whereas Norwich were always going to be edgy with us. They weren't necessarily going to bring the game to us. We were the team to go there and bring the game to them, and we played into their hands by, as you said, this sitting back nonsense that we're doing at the moment, and we saw it a bit last season. We shouldn't be going anywhere, and we're not saying we're not saying we're the best team by far, but we've got enough about us to go to places to win games instead of trying to defend games. And I think when we set up like that, and you've got Howson, Clayton, and Downing, none of them are known for the pace. You're asking for trouble, sitting back. All it takes is one little move, like the goal was, out wide, 3 passes, and they're in, and it's a goal. you're leaving yourself with gap for me, and I think you either play the press and you're high everywhere you go, like we've seen at home against West Brom, which I think's our best performance of the season. We set off the way we wanted to start, high pressing, didn't give them an inch. Yeah. Why can't we go everywhere and do that? Yeah. I've no offence at all, Norwich, or anyone in this league, because we're not saying we're anything special either, but we're not exactly, shouldn't be going there, like we said about Man City, and fearing you. We should be going and putting the window gun up people.
Yeah. I think it's just the nature of the Championship, isn't it? It's a league where anyone can beat anybody.
Completely.
If you're not on your game on a match day, then yeah, things are going to go wrong. Just before we carry on, just like to wish a big happy birthday. It was 30 tomorrow to Kirk Rowland, who lives in New Zealand. He's a big Boro fan. His girlfriend Abigail's got in touch with the show to wish him happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So from all lads here, happy birthday, Kirk. Big 30.
Have some shrimp on the barbie.
That's Australia.
Yeah, but it's like the same country, isn't it?
Yeah, well, of course it is. You've already insulted the full nation there. That's fine. Don't worry about that.
Well, listen, Kiwis and Saturday, they may as well carry on.
Kiwis and Springboks. They'll probably have an army of sheep.
No,
after you.
The only difference is one has an opera house and the other has a rugby team. There's the difference.
Yeah. Going back to Saturday at Norwich, I think an indication probably of how unhappy Tony Pulis was, AJ, is the fact that he made all 3 changes with over 20 minutes to go, which isn't like him, and he'd made all 3 substitutions. I think one of them, and I think you touched on it there a little bit there, Foxy, about Clayton. He took a knock in the first half, and he didn't seem the same player after that, did he?
His heart went a bit, didn't it? Yeah.
The one substitution I didn't understand was we had a half time, and about 4 minutes later, he takes off one of the players, and I'm like, made a change at half time. Yeah. I think just on Saturday, mate, I just think Uchi was wrong. I think the formation, when we seen it outside, Guesty and me and Robin that were saying, I think Rob especially was saying the formation was wrong. I think he had a point.
Yeah, and you know what? You're not going to have a perfect season where you're going to go and defeat. You're going to have,
but you need to stick with what you're going for.
And this is what you mentioned last week, didn't you? And you're very much of that opinion.
And I don't want to be right when I'm being negative about Boro. I'd love to be proved wrong because it's your team, but. The way I see it is that any team that's successful in this league, they find a formula, they stick to it, and they go and play. And I'm not saying we're Wolves because they had a lot more attacking options.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in this league.
No way. Probably the best team we've seen at this level in a long, long time. Yeah. But for me, 3-4-3 is our formation. We've got the attacking options now to play Braithwaite, Hugo, and Tombalonga. It's messing about with all this. Dropping him and playing one up front, and Britt isn't good enough to play on his own up there, and we haven't got the runners from midfield either to be able to come and Britt hold the ball up and run. We either play with wingers, which is Shotton and Friend, who aren't always up bombing up down. Yeah. So if we don't play that way with runners getting forward in front of Britt, he's lost, we're screwed. Needs to be 3 all the time.
So which players do you think need to be put into that formation?
Hugh Gill and Braithwaite need to start. Down in and maybe Howson, you drop. It depends how you want to work it. But
that's a big shout. Howson to be dropped. He's had a good start.
He has, but I just don't think what he does, as he proved on Saturday, is that he's not. He can't create in the middle, and he's not a winger. Right, so what do you do then?
I'll interrupt you there.
Bring him off the bench.
There was one mistake that Pulis made, and that was playing down in Braithwaite's position. That was the only change. You look at the games before Leeds, we were perfect. We were playing some nice football. It was flowing from back to front, no issues at all. Yeah. You take Braithwaite out of that game, Tombalonga's on his own. Doesn't matter who you put there. We haven't got anybody to replace with Braithwaite.
And also, as
Rob's our best player.
As Rob's saying there, and I know this is we haven't brought a player in of the same sort of ability. Well, we're not going to with Traore, but someone who can open up you like that. We haven't filled that gap. Balassi was going to be it. Puncheon was going to be it. Saville's a different player.
Braithwaite's that.
No, but Braithwaite is that. He's in that ilk. He can play in that role where he can play as a forward, but he can drop deep and link play up. And as Roberto's saying, he's proved that. Yeah. But now because we've got this nonsense where he doesn't know if he wants to play because he might be gone and jam.
I don't think you can play Howson, Clayton.
Not every game. No. Not every game.
It's so defensive that it's mad. Yeah. One of them.
There might be some games you might get away with it, like Leeds away, and I think on that night that worked for that night. But I think, like you say, to do that week in week out is.
If we go Wednesday night against Bolton, and you don't see attacking like Braithwaite. I'm sorry, but Braithwaite. I agree with Rob. He's our man. He is the man.
He's until January now, isn't he?
He's flair. He's pace. He can shoot. He can.
He knows exactly where Tombalonga is.
Look at his touch on Saturday to have that shot he had. Yeah. That touch to get away from the defender, he was back to goal. He is quality man in Braithwaite, and I know he did what he did, and people just need to get over it for me.
Yeah.
You need to get over it because
we said this on the way here. David Beckham, when he wanted to go to Real Madrid, he was leaving. And I know it's David Beckham, but it's about professionalism in the modern game. You paid enough money, you go to work, you do your job. If I was a plumber and I was going to go and work for another company, I'd still make sure I fit his boiler properly.
There'll be some of the players that were in that team on Saturday that could well be out the club
Completely.
in January. So it's
Why,
really
it
just
doesn't make
focusing
any
on one
sense.
man. They can all go at any time.
Clayton was gone before the season started.
Yeah.
You know, and all I'm saying with that is that Beckham came off the bench against Real Madrid, who he was going to, and scored 2 worldies, and he knew he still wanted to go out and prove you're playing for yourself. It's a level of integrity, and I just think if you want to go out and put the shirt on, you're playing for all those people that have earned the money to come and watch you. Then you put a performance in. If he goes in January, so be it. We've now got options now to go right. So if we can't play Braithwaite, as Rob said, he's the creative link. We use Savile in training. We find a way now in training where we start to look at another option, because surely that's what management is for me. It's having another. It's being able to manage a situation, not wait for the situation to happen. And I think we sometimes are like that, Boro. Something just goes bang and we're like, how did we get here?
Sometimes the problem with that is, and it's great when you've got a run of fixtures coming up or you've had a defeat and you want another game to come along, but I think sometimes in the Championship, do you have a great deal of time to work on the treadmill because of the constant games coming up?
I think that if you kind of say to yourself, right, okay, so for example, we're in the Cup still, you know, we used the Cup to formulate another option.
Right.
You know, and I think we could have done that with the games that we've played, but instead what's happened is we've played a brand new 11 with players then that don't even get a look in on the match day. And you think, well, why play those guys if you're only going to ship them out on loan? They can get them fit, they can play them how they want. You should use that. A little bit like we were talking about this International Cup last week, whether you buy into or not with England. I know me and you were kind of against what they were saying. I think if you're going to have this, you drill a team that's going to play in the Euros so that when they play, they're used to each other. You don't go make 10 changes and then don't even, as you said, Wing doesn't even get on the substitute bench.
Well, just talking about that there, with the subs bench, no Tavernier or Wing, and I think that game on Saturday was crying out. They rescued us at Millwall.
That's what it took me back to when we needed that pace and that bit of energy, and you know what I mean.
That's a good way because there wasn't much energy out on that pitch on Saturday.
At the end of the day, like, the lads that were going to come on, if you had a winger, they love the Boroughs. I mean that's their team. And if you're getting beat 1-0, you're sat in, not even on the bench, and you're watching your team get beat. It's got to do with your head in as a young lad. Of course you want to be on there because you want to impress the boss. But I looked at the bench and I thought, I reckon that's what Pulis wanted. I reckon he wanted all the kids off and have these senior sort of players at other teams.
It's what people that he can rely on. These
so
are players that have been brought in, haven't they? So these players have been brought in, so he can't bring them in. But I just thought in the case of Savile, and it's not a dig at the lad at all, I don't know if he's had one training session since he came back from international duty.
But
he was pitched straight in there.
But he was fit and ready playing for Millwall.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's. I think McNair would be. But I think McNair would be the player that you'd worry about there more than Savile because he's come back from an injury. He's played international football. I think Savile's ready to go, but I mean.
Now, you had an interesting theory we were talking about before we went on the show tonight about the formation, how you'd set up and certain people you would put into the team, namely wing-backs. Do you want to tell us about what you think you would go with wing-backs?
I would start 3-4-3 and I would play Besic instead of Friend because he's playing right back for his country. I don't see why he can't play left back. And I'd play him in a wing-back role because then what you've got then is you've got somebody that can obviously defend because he does it for. And I drop down him or I drop Friend, and he's somebody that can get up and down the pitch. And you know we've seen it with attacking players in the past. Victor Moses, for example, at Chelsea, never played full-back in his life, but the guy's learned how to be a full-back because he can tackle. Besic can tackle, but if you can't tackle, you can't play there because you'll end up giving so much away out wide, which is dangerous. But he can, and I just think that. As we say every week about Friend, great servant. And I'm not saying that it was his fault on Saturday at all, but I think that to find more creativity in your team that isn't just i.e. in the middle, you bring your full-backs and you make them so that they can pump up and down. Shotton, he's played well. Whether you play Shotton left back and you play Besic right back, I don't know. Or whether you, but I just think right now we're looking for another option somewhere. And I'm going to read some comments out, but as a couple of the guys are saying, like Guesty, for example, he's never going to play, he doesn't want to play two up front. So then you've got to find that option somewhere else. If we ain't going to play Hugo...
we had it in Braithwaite and Brooks on Malanga. It worked, it was a partnership, it worked, we had a team.
But we just need...
The Bristol City team was a team that we should have gone with all season, in my opinion. Because the way that we dispatched them, or Sheffield United...
Yeah, I think obviously what's happened though is obviously tipped the balance a little bit with obviously they had the international break, the situation with Braithwaite, so he felt as though he's had to change things around. I mean, we went through how many formations, I don't know, in that second half on Saturday at Norwich.
I can get to
which
why...
is worrying, isn't it?
You know, I get to why he's been dropped, but I can understand it.
Can you say to me, after we've been unbeaten, we've had a good run, we haven't conceded goals,
we've had a
right?
We've had a great
and then all of a sudden we go to Norwich and it's kind of as if we've never played all this season. All of a sudden we're trying every single... Should that not already be ready to go? If we go 1-0 down, game management, that should be talked about before the game. If this is the scenario after 60, 70 minutes, this is what we're going to do. And we try that and we work on it in training. It's not rocket science.
Do you want to give us some of the viewers' opinions and
okay,
thoughts?
So I'm not too sure where to start because we've had quite a lot since I've gone on. I mean, where else? So I'll start with Ryan. Do you miss Adama? I mean, yes, but no. Is a funny thing. He's unbalanced us,
it's
but
gone. It's gone now.
CB Gaming Vlogs. Pulis needs to show what the players he has signed can do. Totally agree. This is maybe the perfect opportunity for that now.
To home games.
Let's have a look. Steve up the Boro highlights. Do you think Boro will bring in players who are free agent? I'm assuming that's free agent, Steve.
Well, yeah, we're looking at Sacco, won't we?
Sacco would be a good addition. I don't know whether there's... I don't really know where else. I think defensively, normally we're sound.
Yeah, but McQueen's there, isn't he? And he
McQueen,
play left back.
Bath as well. Bath, sorry.
Yeah.
Norwich City, so we've mentioned that from Grants. Let's have a look. Grant's going on about the history, but we do the same thing, by the way. We know OTBC is stupid, but it's historic. And
that's the song on the ball.
What we're going to
do? Stupid, like.
Shall we move on from Norwich?
Yeah, let's move on. Let's have a little.
When they're singing it, right, they stand next to you and they sing on the ball City, and you think, mint, class, like, well done for being on the ball.
One from Kirk Tasker here.
Oh, yeah, listen, I read that one. Kirk.
Every time they lose, just going about how he hates the team. Agree. I don't know if he does, Kirk. I think he's just.
Listen, the guy's
it's a bit of banter as well.
Listen, hang on. I don't want to cause no controversy on this show.
Of course.
Kirk, you know what you did during the World Cup on Instagram and messages to me.
Oh, we had this. I remember that. That's a personal war, that, I think.
And since then, because I stood up to you and you didn't like it on Messenger, you then, every single thing I do, you leave a comment with a little bit of a dig. Now, I get that you might not like what I said to you.
We maybe should leave
that.
Yeah. We maybe should. If you're gonna, he's got a JCB, this guy, so you can't dig any further. Craig Hunter, he's one for us, guys. Where is Wing? I was so impressed with this lad. Who was part of winning games or winging games. He should still be getting in the team.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah. I think he's certainly an option at least off the bench to bring on.
Do you think then on that, Craig, as well, if you want to say as well, do you think that it's an easy option to drop a wing rather than a more seasoned professional? So you kind of feel as if then that's...
it's unfair.
I'm only surmising here because for me, whatever I've said about Tony Pulis and the style and stuff like that, as Rob will know, as a man management, I think he's brilliant. He seems to be able to deal with players and whatever, and that's part of it. But do you think that it's unfair slightly to kind of... Wings had a great pre-season. Yeah. He started the season well, and now all of a sudden he's the kind of...
I would hope to see him involved on Wednesday night. I would hope to see him involved.
If not Preston, I want to see him at Preston.
I think definitely in the cup game.
I hope Chapman's back as well, because I really like the look of Chapman. I think if we lose him...
Yeah. Do you want to give us one more?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, when I was obviously talking about Bezic and fullback, so obviously there's McQueen sat there, who's a really talented player from all accounts, and CB Gaming Vlogs again saying McQueen needs to play for me. Sam McNichols is another one. CB Games again, they're saying about, do you think McQueen needs to start? A few people have said in there that McQueen's a player that they'd like to see start, maybe over Friend. Are we assuming here then?
Yeah, probably will be.
I mean... Again, Hugill, Britain, Braithwaite is the key. We've kind of agree with that. Sam McNichols has just mentioned there. So you go. How many goals have we scored in the cup? 5 goals in 2. Again, no. As we've just said, we're changing the team.
Yeah. And in fairness, you're playing Notts County and Rochdale there as well.
Completely. With a squad there that you like to think is good enough to play in the Championship anyway, even if it's your reserve. But I'll just say one more, just because I don't want people to think we're not talking. So I've got like Sol Starling 2002. Just an annoying little club you want to kick it in the head. So I'm assuming you're not a Boro fan then.
No, I think he is a Boro fan.
Is he? Yeah, alright, okay.
Good lad, comment on my video.
Kean 04, why is Foxy so negative? You know, that's a fair point, Kean. I don't know if it is, brother. I think I'm just realistic. I can't buy into stuff when I see it differently. I don't think we're the finished article, and I don't think we've solved the creativity in the midfield scenario for me yet. I think we've played a lot of teams where Sheffield United were poor, we kicked their season off. Bristol City were poor, we've kicked their season off. And I'd be worried to say that are these teams going to come back to bite us. That's all I'm saying. So I'm never negative. I'm just realistic. And one defeat isn't a case of it being negative. It's just it's breaking it down and looking at it logic. But you know,
Well, looking at that, lads, we've got 2 home games coming up this week. We've got Bolton Wanderers and Swansea City. I mean, Bolton, first of all, everyone had them marked down as being relegation candidates this season. They had a great start this season. They've only taken 1 point from the last 9, though, and I think they've hit the buffers a little bit.
Listen, if same for that Norwich again.
Yeah, but if Saturday's taught us anything, we know it's going to be a tough one.
I just don't think we can underestimate anyone in this league.
No.
I'll be honest. I think when we came down the first year, we looked at the fixtures in August. I think everyone was saying, Anders a trophy because we're underestimating teams.
Yeah, you can't say that in this league. You can't.
This league, it's one of them, where look at Boro on the table now. After one game, it's always changing. And that's it.
And talking to Bolton, I mean, I didn't realise how many ex-Boro players have got in their squad. There's the Edgar Rock, David White there. You've got Jonathan Grounds, Yannick Wildschut, Sammy Amiobi, who's not going to play because he's injured now, Andrew Taylor, Gary O'Neill. Any members from any of that? Look, Gary O'Neill,
Gary O'Neill,
Remember him, eh?
Wildschut. Them days were great, weren't they? They were great,
It's like a Poundland exactly.
Poundland.
He went for a big. Didn't he go for like 11 million or something? Didn't he to Norwich? He went to Norwich. About 11 million to Norwich.
Yeah, and then we've got Swansea at the weekend. They've got the long journey up here. I mean, Graham Potter's team, they've made a steady start of the league. They haven't been spectacular. They're just getting points. They're just there. I think just about. I think the 6th at the moment.
They're a good team, but they've got that striker McBurney.
From Barnsley.
And when he was at Barnsley, when we were at Barnsley last year, I went on Dykes TV, the fan channel, and I said McBurney is really good, mate. Against Leeds when he played against he was up Eddie scored.
That was a really good game, wasn't it? When they played
really
Leeds? Good. Yeah. So 2 home games. 2 teams that haven't lost away from home yet this season, either of them. How many points are we going to take, AJ?
2.
Took the words out of my mouth.
2 draws. 2. You going 2 as well?
I do, and I don't want to see something being negative after Saturday's result. Because even after Saturday's result, mate, I would have given you the same answer.
I honestly think we'll get 4. I think we'll beat Bolton, and I think we'll draw with Swansea. And to be honest, I wouldn't be disappointed with that.
I wouldn't be 2 or 4. I wouldn't be. I think Bolton again. But they're not losing away from home. They've started really well, and I know they had the administration thing. As that, I know because I think they got beat Saturday.
Lost it all to QPR on Saturday.
And that will well. As soon as I looked at it, I thought that's a bit of what I am. I mean, losing to QPR with no disrespect to them, but we all know they've had the best start. As the administration thing gone through the camp and sort of rocked the players.
Possibly, it can do, can't it?
It's going to go 1 or 2 ways Wednesday night for me. We're either going to come out and we're going to, Boro are going to fire at Bolton. We're going to give it everything we've got, or we're going to come out and do the first 15 minutes and sit back and go through the motions again.
Do you know what, as you're saying there, it's kind of set up perfectly now after, it's a little bit like after the Millwall game where we've got to now just get off to a flyer and really, really nail them. It's almost,
absolutely.
if we don't see a reaction to Bolton on Wednesday, then we can say that actually maybe is there something, is it fractured a little bit than it was there at the start of the season? We've papered over the cracks a little bit as that kind of ran out a little bit, and we're kind of seeing the reflection of the real team that is there. But therefore also for me it will play into the hand of then bringing the players that we brought in and let's try something different.
There is a brilliant chance to get 6 points if we really want to take it.
I'm glad we're playing Bolton first rather than Swansea, I'll be honest. No disrespect to Bolton, I think Swansea is the tougher fixture. It's going to be
100%. But it's all about winning your home games, and I think this is a perfect opportunity to show everybody that look at. It was 1 defeat on the, that's 1 defeat, but we can get the run going again.
I mean, it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. If we go out there, and there's no reason why we can't be full. We weren't full of energy on Saturday.
If we do 3-0 on Wednesday, if we win 3-0, everyone's behind.
Or even AJ,
it shows it's a blip.
Yeah, and even if we go in that game, we win 1-0, but we're full of energy and create lots of chances, then
people are happy.
It's the same difference. As you guys have already said, I know, as Guesty said as well, we were lacklustre on Saturday, there was no energy. And you think, well, you've had 2 weeks off. Why have you got? We should be dying to start the game.
Absolutely, I mean, look how buzzing we were to get down there and stuff. And it's like that's how the players should be. They should be fired up.
And that's it. And at the end of the day, they're humans just like us, and you have good days and bad days at work. And hopefully, that's just a bad day, an off day, and these next 2 games can get us back on track.
Completely. I mean, we're not taking this. We're not letting ourselves get carried away. It's 1 defeat, and it might be the defeat that they need. It might be that kind of that thing where we were getting this kind of this ball and chain maybe have not conceded, and that can build up with pressure with a team that didn't expect to be where it was. Then all of a sudden 2 worlds collide where people are thinking, oh, hang on a minute. So maybe that's the release of pressure, poor performance, gone.
Well, I'm sure next week we'll be back on here. We'll be all positive. Hopefully we've had 2 good results, and we'll be looking forward to the cup game with Preston and the league game with Hull.
Shall I just knock a few more comments out quickly, just what the guys are predicting?
Yeah.
Just quickly, Soul Starling 2, 2002, 2-0 Boro, 2-0 Boro, CB Vlogs 2-0 Boro against Bolton, Braithwaite 1, Brit 1, Joe with it, 3-0 Wednesday, happy days, Dean Cheatwood. I think we'll learn from the Norwich. It was a good point, Dean, that's what we're kind of saying. We're missing Braithwaite, Joe, it's a good point. There's a few others on there, I think. I don't have guessed he's put in a prediction 3-0.
So positive, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be 1 or 2, won't it?
Yeah. It has to be a bounce back. It has to be positive. You can't be in that game and if all the fans be down for it. If we're down for it, it reflects on the players.
Completely. You know what? If this was April and we'd gone there, we'd been on a blinding run and we were fighting for promotion and we'd gone and got beat 1-0, I'd be worried.
If you go only 1 game,
but in September,
6-7 games, it's a good start to the season.
In this league, you've got to go on runs.
Yeah, and we have.
You know what I mean? We have to now
start another one.
Bolton has to be the run.
Completely.
Listen, if we can beat Bolton, then if we can go and beat Swansea.
You're off again.
Let's have it right. They've got a lower league Premier League team still. You know,
they've got a good talented squad, Swansea. They've got some good players in that team.
Papa just turned up there.
Yeah. I need. Did you bring me earrings with you?
That just made me laugh there when I
looked
at
it. I'm afraid as we're out of time.
What?
There's a few of us going to get our Barnett sorted out, I think now.
Well, I hope that's aimed at me.
I don't know what that.
I am. This is you know, like before BC and all that. Before
I don't know what that
this is BW before wax. So I've just got out the shower and I had to pick AJ up. So come on, guys. You know, get your Pat Butcher comments in. And if anyone's got any earrings for us, I'll wear them next week. Put a win, I'll wear my earrings.
As always, Boro fans, thanks for watching us and joining us tonight. From myself, Foxy and AJ.
Cheers, guys.
Till next week.
Up the Boro. Always a pleasure. Best fans in the world.
Wherever you are.
Whoever you are.
There you go.
Peace out.
In New Zealand.
Me, you and me.
In New Zealand,
Monday at 3.